looking at people.
Yeah. I showered today, for noticing. It's a big deal. Oh my goodness.
Is your pool open?
My pool is open. My pool's open. We're up north, actually. I came up to Collingwood just to get out of the city.
I'm in Collingwood too.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Here, right? It was supposed to pour rain, but it's been okay.
Whereabouts are you in Collingwood?
We are so Mountain Road and Osler Road. We're in off of Trails End there.
Okay, because we're up at Osler. We were in the city because we have landscapers coming in tomorrow morning, so we have to be here to open the gates for everything to be set up. But we've been living up at Osler pretty well since it all happened in March.
You know, we started up here and the Wi-Fi, the Zoom stuff wasn't working when all of us, like when the kids and I were trying to be on. And I just said, we're just trying it. We're just going with it because just for a little change of scenery.
Hey, you. Hi, Erin. Hi, Anastasia.
Hi, guys.
Now what?
Hello.
Oh my
God.
Where's my? Oh, they don't see me.
Hello. We're trying to figure out why Zoom hasn't figured out.
Everybody, so nice to see you all.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Okay.
Hi. Hi, Anna.
Oh, it's so nice to see everyone. Oh my gosh.
Audrey. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Daphne.
Hi, Daphne. Take pictures of these.
Everyone looks so good.
Elizabeth's got the golden shot.
I got my sexy gardening outfit on, and everyone else looks like they're going to a party.
This is as good as it gets, Daphne. This is the party.
This is the party.
Wow. I didn't read the invite properly. Hold on a second.
Hi, Molly.
Hi, how are you?
Well, thanks. Everybody's well?
Yeah, everybody's well.
Molly.
We're around the corner from you tonight, so maybe we'll see you tomorrow if we go for a walk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go around tonight.
Are you still up north, Glenna?
No, we're in the city just for 24 hours or so because we're having some work done in the backyard, so we have to be here in the morning to let the landscaper in, and then we'll get north. I come down about once a week. I need to water my house plants, and I check on everything here and pick up the mail from the neighbors. So, but we're predominantly most of the time up north, which has been nice.
Do you bring groceries up?
You know, I read the BBC a lot. So before my daughter came home for reading week, I had my freezer and my pantry stuffed. So I'm shopping from home. So we're not spending a lot of time in the stores.
Okay, good.
I'll get stuff and take it up with me.
Yeah, I heard the locals aren't too happy with the big city folk shopping up there.
Yeah, so I think it keeps everybody happier, and I'm happy not to be in the stores right now. I'm trying to minimize contact.
Hi, it's Kathy Cranston. How are you?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Oh, wow, you guys are dressed up.
I was admiring Sydney's beautiful necklace.
Oh, yeah. You know me. To dress up is to cheer up. So, you know.
Good for you.
So funny. I have two beverages. I wasn't sure which way we were going. The beverage conversation.
Wow.
Where am I going to do this? Steve asked me today if we were going to do wine, and I said, sure, absolutely. But we've been so busy. I haven't gotten one. I'm thinking, how politically incorrect is it to ask your child to open a bottle of wine for you?
Yeah, you have somebody there who's in university age. I think that's totally acceptable. Yeah.
And it's all about learning new skills right now.
I think that's so funny. I think that's really so funny. Like that could be the ultimate meme, which is like, sweetie, can you get mommy some wine? It's better than them coming in through all my meetings all day going, that's for dinner.
Anastasia, did your brother-in-law, was it your brother-in-law who was launching the canned wine and cider and all that? Did that happen?
It happened. It's in the LCBO, guys. Thanks for asking, Sydney. I wish if we were more organized, I would like drop ship to everyone, but it's a new canned wine from California. It's a white and a red, and it's called Stell and Mar. It's a family business, so it's launched. It made it in the LCBO. It's at Summerhill, it's up north, it's everywhere. You can order it online. And now if you go on their website, they'll deliver through one of these delivery services, something Buddies.
That's
It's really good. It's nice, just like, it looks like this. It's like a can, and it's a serving and a half. So it's like a glass, well, depending on what your serving is, but it's a glass and a half.
A half serving. That's good.
So anyone around my hood, like whoever's West End, Mirren, whoever's close by, come, and I have a couple here.
I'm excited. That's great.
I can do curbside delivery. Yeah.
Contactless touch or contactless. I'm just
Hi
waiting,
there.
trying to see if Steve.
How are deliveries going?
Oh, they're good. Yeah, we're although we're running out of cash, so we're ramping up in different directions. So, but all is good.
Amazing.
That's great.
Hi, Karen. Nice to see you.
All right, guys. Well, why don't I go ahead and kick off? Thank you for joining us. Wow, this is a new world. I think I've had a lot of Zoom meetings, but this is a big one. Stephen, you got all dressed up.
Oh,
I'm impressed.
Only waist up. I'll stand on my chair. So I don't even have my cufflinks in or anything. And it's the
business attire in Bermuda.
Miranda's on here. Miranda's boys are my most frequent lay-by visitors in the morning, having not missed a day. So I do half an hour in the lay-by every morning in the same shirt since March 25th. So it gets half an hour in the morning and then the periodic afternoon, evening.
That's awesome. Well, this is obviously a new format for us, and we're betting that we're probably going to have to do a few more like this in the fall at some point. So bear with us, and we'll take suggestions. We're recording this so that we understand who all attended and questions and all of that. But I think we're going to keep this one tight, recognizing that there's a lot of people on the call, and for some reason in this new world, things seem to have gotten busier, which I'm trying to figure out. It's like you barely have moments of alone time anymore. But the agenda for today is really just this welcome. I'm going to turn it over to Steve to say a few words. Then Jackie will join and give her treasurer's report. The Guild exec is going to launch the new purpose, vision, mission, values exercise that we went through, which we're very excited to share. And then I'll give a brief president's report, and we'll send everybody off. All right. So Steve, I'll turn it over to you.
Perfect. Okay. This is great turnout for, this is an event that I think in recent years, and our live version of it had been dwindling, that despite the fact that there's wine served at it. And I did see Amanda earlier today, and I said, it's still okay to bring a cold drink, right, to the Guild AGM. So thank you, Anastasia. I launched into you discussing drinks, so that's perfect. You've taken the pressure off the rest of us. I really want to say, it's interesting. I don't know how many people watched the Senior School Athletic Awards, the live broadcast, I guess, or YouTube live version of them was shown last night, and it's still available, the recording of it. And I thought Steve Turner did, he did an amazing job along with his team pulling it together, but also just his beginning montage, like the coffee house, the montage that Ricky Tan pulled together of driving through the empty campus and the sunshine and the buds on the trees, and with some music that Ricky had composed. And Steve did, he did talk about what we've lost. And obviously, actually, I wrote to one of the parents last night I was in correspondence with, and I said, if you know me, you can imagine how broken I am by not having access to the boys every day, and not, having virtual lay-by only and not being able to sort of see them. That's obviously, that's why I do what I do. And so there has been much loss, and I think we need to acknowledge that. And as we look forward to graduation, we're talking about that, and we need to understand, we need to grieve that, and that's okay. But I think, and especially when I think about the Guild, what we have really held on to And what we maybe have even doubled down on is equally as important. And with this group and with the Guild, that's about community. We have in our lives gone back to first principles, and we've certainly in where the college exists now, we're back to first principles of taking care of our boys' minds and their hearts. First principles is adults and students in relationship. It is in education. It is about creative planning and imaginative ways to engage them. And first principles of the Guild is about a partnership. And I say every year at the Guild AGM, the simple fact is that Royal St. George's College does not exist without the Guild. And the Guild is a bedrock of the work that we are able to do. And when looking at the Guild, it is about a partnership. It is a parent partnership. And if you look at what's going on in your own homes, as parents, all of our parents, we've never been in deeper partnership with the teachers at the school. You've never been more aware, I think, maybe of what your kids are doing. We've never asked on you more to help us and be our partners in that. So that first principle of the Guild relationship, I think, is even stronger. As Amanda said, and I don't want to steal the spotlight, the conversation around the what is it, Amanda? The purpose? Yeah, the purpose was an amazing project, and it has led, as great processes do, it's led to incredible outcomes. And in reading that, community, teamwork, kindness, integrity, and meaningful work is, put that lens against where we found ourselves since March 25th. Finding meaning is so essential in our existence right now. And I'm always grateful to the Guild for all of your work all year. But think about what you've been able to do again since March break. You very quickly put together grade socials. You very quickly made sure that grade parent connections, grade parent communications continued. I think in one of the things that I think we'll look back on and say was one of the kindest, best gestures was the Parent Guild donation to Feed the Frontlines on behalf of the faculty and staff at the school, which I can tell you on behalf of my colleagues was perfect timing around a boost that everybody really needed at exactly that time. It was elegant and perfect. So thank you for that. When we're in looking at some of our I probably do have some grade 12 graduating families. Anyways, we've got a couple of things in mind for our grade 8 graduates, and one of them was a logistical task that involved deliveries around the city that I won't say much more about, but and in looking and working with our advancement department, the question was, oh my God, how are we, what brigade of soldiers are we going to enlist to get these delivered all around the city on short notice in a very quick time frame? And the answer, of course, is, oh, let's just get the Guild to do it. It'll be done. It'll be done perfectly. It'll be done Georgian, in a very Georgian way. So I'm very, very grateful for what's been done since March break. I think that is fantastic. Who is that? Oh, I love that. The reason you brought your children to RSGC, the reason I bring my children there is because of the relationship. It is the relationship between kids. It's the relationship between kids and teachers. It's the relationship between parents and teachers. It is between the schools and the family. And I think we have shown that we have so much in the bank in these relationships, and all of the work the Guild has done this year, all year, certainly before March break, in previous years, it's all been deposits into that bank of relationship. And when we needed it most, it really has shown up the brightest. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I do want to acknowledge and thank two people on the call. One is Glenna. Glenna has been, as past president, Glenna has been on the Board of Governors for the year and has brought a really thoughtful voice to that, a really thoughtful voice, not just on behalf of the Parent Guild, but a thoughtful voice on behalf of parents. And I'm very grateful for her work. and obviously to our outgoing president, Amanda, who already didn't really know what she was stepping into this year. I am just so grateful for the calm, steady way that you have led throughout the year. You have full-time work outside of the Guild, and we've always said that's a full-time job as well. And you've managed to lead, and you've managed to bring to life some great initiatives this year that you walked into the year having in mind. And I think this statement of purpose is really going to be your legacy, and it's a great legacy. So I'm really grateful for that as well. I will say, if you had hoped that I would give further illumination on what September is going to look like, I have nothing further than what was communicated last week. I do have a new turn of phrase this year, or this week, of the tens of thousands of articles pouring into my inbox. One used the phrase click, meaning online, to brick, meaning at school, and that transition between click to brick. And as I had said in my earlier communication, you know the team that I've got. I've got Paul and Catherine and Anna and Mike and Jane, and you know, I have an amazing team. I have the full support of my board, and our board chair, Kathy Cranston, is also on the call. I have the full support of the board, and who also ask me the right questions. And we are preparing for numerous scenarios. We are preparing for numerous scenarios with the health and safety of everyone in our community at the front, foremost, of course, and continuing to provide an education that holds and sustains and provides meaning for our kids. So that's a vague answer on, but you know, I guess what I can communicate to you is I know I have the right people on this, and I know that we will come up with a great plan that we will obviously meet and exceed everything that is expected of us by the city and by the province. And I am been just very grateful for everyone's support. On that, I will mute, take questions, or that's not my meeting. Go ahead, Amanda, it's your meeting.
I was gonna say,
Amanda says no questions, please.
do you want to take some questions? Are there any questions for Steve? Okay. We'll move on to Jackie with our treasurer's report.
Hi, guys. Well, as we've heard over and over again, the Guild is really about community, but if you'll bear with me just to briefly go over the finances, I'll keep it short and sweet. The Guild averages approximately $75,000 in fundraising per year. This year was no different, and that's driven pretty much by the mistletoe market, the used uniform sale, and the used book sales. And those funds are used to reinvest in our community, you know, the parents and the boys, but primarily it's returned back to the school. This year, $50,000 in capital expenditures and $15,000 in bursary. All the details are available for everybody and anybody who'd like to see that, and that'll be available in the next couple weeks as we wrap up the school year. So if you have any questions, let me know, and if not, that's it.
Perfect. Thanks, Jackie. I'm going to attempt to do technical things like share my screen right now. So bear with me for a second, and we'll get the purpose exercise going. Slideshow. Haha. Amazing. Okay, so I'll launch into this. And again, this will also be available for people to refer to in more detail if you'd like. We started on this journey to establish a purpose, vision, mission, and values for the Guild when we learned that the school was relooking at their vision and mission and tightening that up a little bit and really expanding on their values and how they define those values. And we wanted to do this because we thought it not only ensured that everybody had a clear understanding of what the goals were for the Guild, but it gave the spirit by which we would accomplish those goals and how important that was. A lot of people don't really understand the difference between purpose, vision, mission, values. Purpose is really the why an organization exists from a higher level. The vision is what they are doing, and the mission is typically how they are doing it on a daily basis. The values are all about the individuals in that organization and the behaviors that they need to display in order to achieve the goals. So we, of course, had a brilliant starting point. We wanted to make sure that we were fully aligned with where the school was going. School's vision is lifelong Georgians ready to use their scholarship, compassion, conscience, and courage to make a difference. And the mission is to challenge and inspire each boy to become the best version of himself. The RSGC values are incredibly robust. And so when we went through the exercise, we wanted to make sure that we kept certain words in our minds to make sure there was that alignment. So we talked about learning and knowledge, that known and loved piece, courage, courageously, accountable, integrity, spiritual, and a positive force. Glenna?
Okay, so our process was fairly simple. We started with a storytelling, a survey to ask key questions about the Guild. And we used the responses to understand the image, work, and the DNA of the organization. We shared those stories by combining them and finding the common threads throughout. We had 2 workshops subsequent to that to develop the most important values for the Guild. And finally, we spent a day using those values to craft the purpose, the vision, and the mission. So this is an example of how we analyze the survey results. For each of the 10 questions, we combined the responses to circle the product, words, and then we boxed the actions, and then we underlined the impact that the Guild has. And then we summarized these results in just 3 buckets of product, action, and impact. This is just one part of our impact results. And you'll note that we paid as much attention to some of the challenges as we did to the positives. And then here you can see the final summary of each. So our product is the fact that we're a large community with many stakeholders and how to get the parents involved. Our actions are that have an active role in the school, and it's inconsistent, but there's also an inconsistent view of what we do and how we do it. And then for the impact, we want to increase participation by focusing on what the community wants. And then we want to need to shift the image to reflect who we aspire to be. So Jackie?
Workshop 1 happened during our November evening meeting. We had a great turnout and we were able to split attendees into groups of 10 or so. Each group was given a deck of 220 value cards, each with a definition to ensure everyone was working with a common understanding. As we went through the values, we wanted to keep these questions at the forefront. Do they reflect who the Guild is and what it wants to be? Would the school community say this is already about the Guild? Do those values make you feel something? And what are the most important words and why? We asked each group to independently narrow their selection down to their top 6 values in no particular order. It was amazing that despite the vigorous discussions and very different viewpoints, and whoever was there, it was a pretty lively situation, how closely aligned each of the groups were. You can see that community and other really important things, meaningful work, keep coming up despite the different process.
Sarah? Is Sarah there?
Sorry, I was on mute. Hi. We had our second workshop in February, and we gave everyone stacks of colorful sticky notes and asked them to narrow down their choices for the top values. After 3 rounds of continuing to narrow down the list, as you can see, this was in order where we netted out. Approachability, number 1, meaningful work, community, kindness, integrity, and teamwork. So then we knew that the purpose was to be developed using approachability as the foundation. So approachability was a bit of a surprise winner for us. We thought it was important, but we would have expected to have something like community come up first. So we wanted to understand that a little bit better. Our moderators opened the floor to define what approachability meant to them and the implications it had to the Guild. So the words that came up were inclusivity, openness, transparency, the importance of remembering what it was like to be new, flexibility, friendly, that we were being representative of the community, that we were having fun, and that we were non-judgmental. And this was important to understand because the next step would be required using either the word approachability or its sentiment in the Guild purpose statement, which Sydney will take from here.
So we had a third session via Zoom to work through the purpose, the vision, and the mission. We had a lot of animated dialogue. We had lots of markers and sticky notes and a few dips into the thesaurus to look for synonyms that might be meaningful for us. And we did finally come up with our end product. We shared it with Steve and the board, and we hope that you are as happy with the end product as we are. So, So, just to sum up, our values as a Georgian Guild are community, meaningful work, integrity, teamwork, and kindness. So that's what we were, the toolkit that we were working with. And that allowed us to put together our purpose, which is at its most basic, but its richest. We foster parent connection. That is the why of the Guild. We foster parent connection. Our vision, parent involvement creates an enduring, engaged Georgian community. So that's what we aspire to do. Our mission, how are we going to do this? We enrich Georgian life through culture, community, and conversations. I am about to step into some lovely and impressive shoes next year and become the Guild president next year. I didn't expect to be a COVID president, but these are new times for everybody. So I obviously don't know exactly how the Guild is going to look next year, but I do know that community and togetherness have never been more important. And I feel confident that we are going to find inventive and energetic ways to make this happen. So thank you very much.
Super, thanks, Sydney. I have to say, I struggled with trying to put together closing remarks. I'm not as good on the cuff as Steve is in remarks. But I had this fear that I would be kind of like a bad Oscar winner who gets up and goes too long and somebody starts playing music, or I forget to thank my husband. So I've got notes here that I'm going to refer to so that I don't forget somebody important. But I do want to say, going through that purpose exercise, not only do I love that exercise. It's so much fun to do, and I've done it with organizations, I've done it with individuals, and it's incredible to watch the metamorphosis. But really, when you get to those values, it was about articulating when it was already in the DNA of the Guild, and I think that's the important thing. So it was great, and I appreciate all the people that participated. I can't believe the number of people that got involved this year to make it a success, the amount of hours that were put on. So I want to first of all thank everybody for everything that they've done, whether it's attending things or volunteering. It's so important to be part of this community. This is where I get into the nervous Oscar speech giver and read my notes for thank you. So Elizabeth Walford and Yvonne Caddy, Anna Outgram, and Miranda Rand on band and choir. Thank you so much for all you did to support our music programs. I know they were cut a little bit short this year, but your help was much appreciated. To the Angelas, McIntosh and Goldman, thank you for another successful year. The cheese sale, raising about $12,000. Julie Hepner and Merrill Armstrong led the way in community service, and Merrill was also double duty as a parent ambassador lead. So that's great work on her part. Carolyn Von Nostrom and Carrie Mackay, thank you for the army of class parents and being a liaison between the school and the Guild and the classes. Anastasia, I think you're one of the few people in this group who can just go by the first name like Beyonce and everybody knows who they're talking about. You did an amazing job stepping in on Mistletoe and raising about $30,000 and gosh, pulling together and holding on to the success of those years was great. Thank you very much. We are trying to figure out what Mistletoe looks like next year, so everybody stay tuned. You might be asked to be part of a working group to think about contingency plans and what we can do that would be different. So that's in the works. Mary Garofalo, thanks for the parent connections. You did an amazing job, and we were sad to see the aquarium get cut off. We are working with Tim, who I think I saw on the call in one of these panels, to put together a little bit of a surprise wine and cheese Zoom party that we will do what looks like June 11th. So look for that, but it will literally be packages delivered to your door with wine and cheese, and you can join in the tasting, and we'll have a party. So that's in the works. Lisa Windover and Daphne Pressman. I saw Daphne. didn't see Lisa yet, but maybe she's there. Great work on used textbook and used uniforms. Oh, hi, Lisa. They're still in a little bit of flex in terms of how we're going to end this last bit. We're looking at probably doing some collections the week of June 15th, but details to be worked out. What items for the uniforms that can be collected. We're probably looking at just blazers for now. And the textbooks we're working with this, I always forget their acronym, CSBE, is that it? To Steve, Marin, Lauren, and Maria, gosh, you guys are such a huge support to the Guild and everything that we do, and prodding when we need to get on ball on some things, so appreciate everything that you've done for us. To my team, the exec, Glenna, Sydney, Sarah, and Jackie, you are an incredible group of women, and I could not have done half of what we did this year without you. I knew I was terrified to try and fill Glenna's shoes with all the work that she has done for the school, and knew that I just couldn't even achieve it. So I said, all right, just be yourself, and everybody pitched in, so I appreciate it. Sydney is going to be an amazing president, and I think that I'm excited to see what she does with the vision and the mission, and you know, launching what the new Guild looks like. So Sydney, congratulations and great work moving forward. Karen Toe, I think I saw you join the call. I just want to welcome you. You're going to be our new executive secretary, so we're thrilled to have you on the team. And that's about it, guys. That's my, just thank you. I'm so grateful for being part of this amazing community, and look forward to seeing everybody having a glass of wine or a sparkly non-alcoholic drink and having some cheese in a couple of weeks.
Amanda, it's Kathy Cranston. I wonder if I might just add my thanks.
Absolutely.
We are kept well up to date on the board from Glenna this year, Claire past years, and you next year. But the work you guys do is absolutely amazing. The mark you leave on the school and the community is just unparalleled. I'm so impressed, and to see some of your faces and just participate in this a little bit today has been very meaningful. So a huge thank you. The work you did on the purpose, the vision, the mission is so aligned with what we did at the board. And just a huge thank you to all of you, every one of you that adds so much to the school.
Thank you, appreciate it. Sydney's crying, I can see already.
You're crying.
Does anybody have any questions or sign up, or, you know, I feel a little bit like Carol Burnett, like twinkle your ear.
Oh, there's Clam, there's Claire. I really hope this thing that we're sort of putting together, this Parent Connections event on June 11th, I really hope, like, even if you're not a wine drinker or a cheese lover, the idea of having something festive just to sort of see each other's faces before we break up for the summer. Again, whatever the summer's going to look like, I think it will be really nice.
Yeah, we thought it would be a great kickoff.
I also know that a lot of people, some people I've been talking to have been mentioning that they're having Zoom calls for classes and whatnot. So I actually got a bit more organized with my own grade 11 class, and we're going to have like an end of year Zoom call and talk about all our poor teenagers who are now out of work, and they get to spend yet more time with their parents, which is just what every 17-year-old boy wants. So, I'll say one thing and then I'll stop talking. I was the biggest like naysayer about all this. I'm unfortunately for all of us, I am not a techie person, but it's going to be a big learning curve for me, but that's okay. It's going to keep me fresh. And I'm amazed at how nice it is to see people and to have a bit of a chat. And is it the same as meeting in person? Nope, but it's what we got, and it does leave you with a little glow. And so thank you to everybody.
I did just have a quick question about, sorry, it goes more to the funds. Other people might be class parents on this. We do have a little bit of money left over in our sort of put aside stash, and I'm wondering if that's something that can be pooled or donated towards maybe a DARES cause, or something that we could put it towards.
Can I field that as the money person? A bunch of emails are going to be going out today. There was a reconciliation done. Of course, there were no end of year class parties for the boys, and so that money will be requested back. So emails are going out today, and yes, the funds can be used for other purposes, and there's a lot of thinking around that. So I think that, as you know, there was a donation to Feed the Front Lines, a small one, but a meaningful one. And those types of funds are going toward those things at this moment. So yeah, does that answer the question?
Can I just ask, does each class parent, or do the grade reps have the right to sort of canvass their parents and see what they want to do with the leftover funds and where they want it to go? Class parents who are on, does that seem appealing? Or
part of the class parent, I'm forgetting, do we do a gift at the end of the year as well?
Yes.
So
you will
that has to
do
be
that.
good.
You'll still do that. So that email that I referred to, which I just had run by Marin for a sanity check, because because she's quite sane, and very valuable. But Marin saw it today and was instrumental in putting those numbers together. But it will be explicit in the email about what gifts you're supposed to be giving to whom and to what amounts, which is independent of the class party funds. And of course, again, if there's any discrepancy between what you have or what you think you have and what is in that email, I invite you to come back. And there is an opportunity for a dialogue. I think the goal of the email is to kind of put a bow on things at the end and wrap it up. Make sure that the gifts that the teachers are supposed to receive are executed and that the funds get returned back to the community pool. But there's probably room for a conversation, for sure.
Super. Any other questions? Guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing your faces again. And have a safe evening. Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Everybody.